Motors, and I shall be moderating this session. So please welcome our speakers up to the stage. And unfortunately, Christian couldn't join us today from Helicopter. He's come down with a horrible flu, which is never nice. Good afternoon. Thank you both for joining us today. I hope you're well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I've obviously introduced who you are. Would you like to give a brief introductions to yourselves and what your involvement is?
Okay. So my name is Emilio, Scervo. I'm the CTO of Bugatti Rimac. The Adjudicator started in 2021. And I'm responsible for the development of all the Bugatti and Rimac plant since then. And before I've been having a very long history in high-end luxury automotive companies.
Yep, Faisal Sultan. I'm the Managing Director for Lucid Motors Middle East. We are a Silicon Valley-based electric vehicle company, relatively new, but getting noticed. I will tell you a little bit more about our product.
Fantastic. And the automotive industry is one of the most fastest moving in the tech world. It's just things are changing at the speed of light. So first off, I want to ask you both, what do you consider to be the key factors that are currently driving innovation, and what are the key trends you're seeing right now?
Well, when I look at it, I think, electric vehicles have just brought a new dynamic into the auto industry. The internal combustion engine was there. There was a lot of improvements that were made, 100 and, the span of 110, 130 years is a long span. The hybrids came in, tried to address the sustainability portion of it. But then, very quickly, the industry realized that they need to even go further. And I think the whole point behind electric vehicle adoption is driven by sustainability. And that had to be combined into luxury, and it had to be combined with an offering that is appealing. So you're seeing a lot of things that are going on top of that now, with a lot of the user interfaces that are coming into play. A lot of the, it's like a computer on wheels, if you think about it. And the architect of an electric vehicle really, gives you that, where internal combustion engine just couldn't afford to do that, was not capable to do that. So I think the consumers are getting to know that, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of adoption very fast.
Emilio?
Yeah, in our case, it's kind of similar, I would say. I will say that electrification is definitely a big driver in the way the industry is moving forward, which might be either full electric cars or in the case of Bugatti or even hybrid cars, even though it's combining really very high advanced technology on the hybrids. And there are other aspects which, for example, 3D printing, AI-generated components. There is a lot of going on software, and the way the software enhances, in our case, the driving experience. So it's not a replacement, because for high-performance cars, it's really not looking for replacing the driving experience, but enhancing it. So in that aspect, it's definitely going to add value, let's say, to the experience. And there is lightweight technologies, so we are more and more looking into cars that are lighter, more efficient, also to compensate some of the increased weight of the electric drivetrains. All in view, let's say, of giving to our customers really an enhanced experience of what they were experiencing before.
I just want to touch on, Faisal, what you were saying about the sustainability options in electric vehicles. Are you seeing kind of a split in how that's working between regions? Because obviously here, fuel is cheap. We don't have the problems that we have in Europe and the Americas, where fuel is expensive, so there's probably more of a demand for electric vehicles, whereas here there's a lot of purists. They like the fast cars, the big cars, the SUVs. Is there a big split going on there?
Actually, I was under the same impression before I moved to Middle East, back in 2014 from California. But I can definitely tell you that the petrol is subsidized in the region, but a lot of people don't know that the electric energy is also very subsidized here. So comparatively, I think it's an apples to apples case. For example, the Lucid Air, which is right now the longest range vehicle in the world with a single charge, at 840 kilometers of range, that vehicle could be charged for 32 riyals, or roughly about $8, and even with the subsidized petrol that is available in Saudi, you would probably pay 10 times more. So I think, the cost is definitely a good thing, but we are in the luxury car business, and Bugattis and Rimac, they're also in a higher price range. So I think cost really doesn't come into play for us as much as it would probably for some of the high volume products that are trying to get mass adoption done. But for sure, I think it's a good thing to have, but I think we really need to drive it from a sustainability point of view, and I completely agree with my colleague here, is that definitely, I think efficiency, because that will drive some of the luxury car buyers, the sport car buyers, that, hey, I'm doing something good for the environment. And that is something that, our CEO, Peter Rawlinson, has said many times, that, you need to have a motor that is giving you the most horsepower for the least weight, which, Lucid is now doing. We are also giving, 5 miles per kilowatt, or 8 kilometers, which is at least 25% higher than our closest competitors. So, taking less material, taking less battery energy, and giving more back to the, to the environment is really something that we're concentrating on.
And Emilio, it was interesting what you were saying about incorporating the tech to enhance the experience of the vehicle. Where's the line? Where's the fine line there? Because obviously having vehicles like yours, Bugatti, it's a unique driver experience. It's a very pure driving experience. So where is that line that it becomes a good enhancement without jeopardizing that experience?
Well, really the driver of the way we are conceiving car is definitely the customer experience. The way it is today, the way we foresee this to become in the next few years. And the technology that we embed in our cars is our, let's say, interpretation on our customers who basically enjoy the sales experience. In view also what is happening around the world, and the regulation, etc. So this is the angle that we give to this, let's say, technology to the experience. So the line is really driven for us into how we can keep engaging with our future customers in a way that we keep buying our cars, so that our vision of the car is in line with what the good fit is about. I mean, the example of the Tourbillon, for example, if we would have asked our customers what type of car would they like, they would have told us maybe just give us more power, same power, a little bit more. What we gave them is a car which has a very advanced hybrid powertrain, a car which is lighter, a car which is more engaging in terms of experience. And by the time they realized that, they were just amazed. So it's not just about the technology that is available, what the customer today they expect, but how we as the leaders of the company interpret all these factors, these elements, and we provide our vision into a product that the customers were not even expecting.
And my follow-on question to both of you then, you obviously talk about what the customer wants. How important is that customer journey and the feedback to you as manufacturer in what you produce in cars in the future?
It's fundamental. At the end, we are a small company, we are a self-sustaining company, so we need the customers to get in the journey with us, to buy our products. We really have to do this. And the way we do is really keeping this engagement constantly. We have a continuous talk with them. It's a small world, so we really know what are their profound needs. And as I said, we interpret them. We give our own personal vision of how we can feel on these needs. And really gets in shared experiences with them. We make them part of the family. We offer them what I would say the experience is that money can buy. This is really what customers of this type of product really want. They can really afford everything. But what anyone else can afford is to have a direct connection with the creators of the product, for example, to talk with us, to have journalists with us, to be having their voice heard by us when we talk about how we can make our product better.
I think I'm just going to add on because I think those are all the things that really you need to do. Definitely, customer experience is what's going to get the adoption also much faster because there is a lot of lack of information about electric vehicles still out there. So from my perspective, the awareness campaigns have to really, and that feedback and engagement is really the key. Because if you don't get them engaged, and once they buy the product, it becomes even more important to keep engaged because a lot of this feedback is something that we need as a brand new company. For Lucid, I think that is very, very important because then we can incorporate some of these processes, changes, design, back into the product in the next generation. And you almost have to have that cult-like following in an electric vehicle. So, how do you do that? You have to have ownership events. You need to have journalists helping you. You need to have ambassadors. You need to have, these key work streams all kicked in parallel so that the customer is, range anxiety is actually a thing of the past. But, if you go and survey now, people do not know that there are products that have 600 kilometers plus of range now available. All you need to do is just charge your car at home once a week, full night, and you're fully charged for the full, weeks of travel within the city. So, these type of things are very important, and I think that's what's going to make a big difference.
And obviously innovation and the next big thing. So how do you go about collaborating, looking for the next tech that's going to enhance your vehicles, whether it's in the vehicle or the manufacture and production line? So how does that work?
I think collaboration is the key. I think whenever there is a transformation happening, you definitely need, to look at the gaps. And to me, the gaps exist in, infrastructure. So collaboration in the infrastructure side is really needed. I'll take an example of Saudi Arabia, where when we opened our, plant to manufacture a vehicle there, assemble a vehicle, and then, now we're selling. I think we're the largest seller, internal combustion engine or EV in our segment. We're selling like 3 times more. But how can you do that? You can only do that if you have collaboration. So we have collaborations with home charging systems. We give free chargers based on that to our customers. We give free installation for home charging. We also have a collaboration with EVIC, which is the electric vehicle infrastructure company out of PIF that is putting DC fast chargers close to, we're providing them the locations and they're putting DC fast chargers. So I think, on an infrastructure side, but then also on the OEM side, there's a lot of collaboration that is happening. We announced earlier this year that, Aston Martin and Lucid are going to be working together where we are electrifying their fleet for them. So the more cars, electric vehicle cars like Rimac, like Aston Martins, like Lucids, like Teslas, like Mercedes, BMW, competition is good because then, the customer has a choice and you have to perform. You shouldn't be afraid of competition. You shouldn't just, rule the world for EVs for many years like someone did. But now there's competition and the consumer will make a choice based on customer experience, the product, the values, what you are able to provide them. So it will be a healthy electric vehicle transition from ICE.
I mean, look, the vehicles you guys deal with are on another level. It's another level of competition, isn't it? But Emilio, what are you guys doing on the collaboration front, and what do you see as the next big innovation?
Yeah. So we have a very open culture, I would say. So we really like exchanging with other OEMs, with customers, with everyone, our ideas. And we are not really afraid of, let's say, even sharing the stuff that we think are cool, etc. And I think this is also a way that kind of enhance and make the innovation grow, etc. No? And when we find common understanding on, say, other people that share the same view, then it's really cool because we can get to work together without being afraid of competition in that sense. We look outside our industry, we go in aerospace, we go in motorsport, we try to bring across ideas that these guys are doing to see how we could use as well. Because the cool thing of hypercars is that they, I believe, are really the bridge between advanced technologies and the high volume applications, more than motorsport. Because really we kind of work in a very protected environment, let's call it that, in terms of few customers. Our customers are really some sort of patrons of new technologies, they really like investing in tech. And for example, when we were discussing about using on a production car for the first time 3D printed AI-generated suspension system, and we said, okay, why not? Let's go, let's do it, and we can try this type of stuff. And this is, I think, one of the advantages of us being willing to take risk, because this is also what our customers really want to see in our cars. Is really like high-tech, advanced technologies, things that no one else can do. We always say, if we can't do it, who else could do it? No? This is really what hypercar company can enable in getting the transition of new tech into high-end, high-volume stuff. So what we see, of course, the next, even though we have been talking a lot about the analog experience of the next Bugatti, the reality behind this fact is that analog doesn't mean that it's a low-tech. We have been investing a lot on what is under the skin in terms of software, in terms of electrical architecture, etc., to make sure that the filter between the driver and the car is as much as reduced as possible, so that the customer really feel the car like being natural. This is what a new tech can really be able to enhance in terms of the customer experience. And in doing that, we are, for example, I think Lucid is doing the same, investing a lot in developing internal know-how. So sometimes the real answer is not outside, it's inside. You need to invest in your people, your talents, your tools, in your processes, and then you can be really ahead of the curve.
It's a very, very interesting time, and I love what you're saying, you're looking to the aviation and aerospace industries as well, because they're at the forefront of the new materials and the tech and the AI and the self-driving stuff and all the rest of it. It's fantastic. Very, very quickly, I'm just going to ask you in 30 seconds, tell me the one piece of tech, whether it exists or not, that you would love to put in vehicles.
For me, look, the battery technology is still growing, and I think the range anxiety still exists. So I think the battery technology still needs to be worked on, because there's other technologies out there, autonomous, ADAS, and all of this. But it takes away the fun away from driving. So personally, if I'm in a Lucid Sapphire or a Rimac, I think I would like to be driving it rather than sitting in a seat and be driven, because I want to feel that. So I think for me it's the battery tech, and autonomous comes right after that.
Emilio, what's the next thing you want to see?
I think really we are going kind of a closed loop on how the automotive history started, at least in my opinion, in the sense that before cars it was men and horses. Now this was the kind of this very also very unique relationship between the man and the horse. And what we are, I think, is going to happen at some point is that the cars will have their own personality. They will be really looking like the ultimate individualization somehow. So because they will really understand the driving, let's say, the driver and how the customers expect to drive the cars that day, and it will be so natural, so transparent, so let's say seamless, that this will make you really looking like you're not driving a machine anymore. This could be really cool.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Faisal, Emilio, thank you so much. Please give our panelists a nice round of applause for a fantastic discussion. I'm looking forward to seeing where everything goes next.